What do we see if we look up in the daytime?
We see only the sun, the sky, and the clouds.
What do we see at night?
We see the moon and hundreds of little lights.
Are all the little light stars?
No, some of them are not stars, they are planets.
Right. What do we call the sun and planets?
We call the sun and its planets the solar system.
Right. Have you studied the solar system in your school?
Yes.
Okay. Do planets make light by themselves?
No, planets make no light by themselves
Why can we see the planets?
because they reflect the sun's bright light.
Is Earth the first planet in our solar system?
No, it is the third planet in our solar system.
How many planets are there in our solar system?
There are 8 planets in our solar system.
What are the holes on Mercury called?
These holes are called craters.
Could we live on Mercury?
No,
Why not?
it don't have oxygen and water.
Okay, next page. What is the second planet?
Venus is the second planet.
Okay, what's the temperature on Venus?
The temperature on Venus is around 470 degrees centigrade.
Why can't we really see Venus?
It is covered with clouds, so we see only its clouds.
What is probably the first star we see at night?
Venus is probably the first star we see at night.
Okay, next page. What is the name of the third planet?
Earth is the third planet.
Okay, how is Earth different than other planets?
It is the only planet that has oceans and living things on it.
What is the name of the fourth planet?
Mars is the fourth planet.
What were in the bubbles in the rock?
Rosetta Score, an Antarctic explorer, picked up a stone in Antarctica.
What else was in the rock?
They found air bubbles in the rock.
그러니까 bubbles가 들어있고 또?
And there were little tunnels in the rock.
Right. Okay, next page. What happened in 1997?
In 1997, the Pathfinder spacecraft landed on Mars.
Okay, what is the spacecraft carrying?
It carried a high-tech camera.
What is the name of the fifth planet?
Jupiter is the fifth planet.
What is it? Why is it named Jupiter?
Because Jupiter was the greatest Roman god.
What is the name of the sixth planet?
Saturn is the sixth planet.
Okay, what is Saturn famous for?
It is famous for its rings and its moons.
What are the rings made of?
The rings are made of bits of rocks and bits of ice.
How many moons does Saturn have?
Saturn has more than 50 moons which have names.
What is Saturn's largest moon?
Titan is Saturn's largest moon.
Okay, next page. What is the name of the seventh planet?
Uranus, the seventh planet.
Okay, what is the weather? What is the weather like on Uranus?
It is very windy and cold.
What color are the rings of Uranus?
Uranus has black rings.
What is the name of the eighth planet?
Neptune is the eighth planet.
How long is 1 year on Neptune?
A year on Neptune is 164.8 times longer than the Earth year on Earth.
Okay, next page. How did he get pictures of Pluto?
The Hubble Space Telescope took pictures of it with a special camera.
How big is the universe?
The universe is so big we cannot imagine.
Right?
Planets make no light by themselves, but we can see them because they reflect the sun's bright light. We can see them only at night. A planet is like a huge bowl. Some of these are bowls of rock and some are bowls of gas. Do you want to see a planet more closely? Look down at the ground. You're standing on a planet. That's right. Earth is a planet. It is the third planet in our solar system. There are 8 planets in our solar system. Mercury is the first planet. It is the closest to the sun and it is one of the smallest planets. There are many holes on Mercury. These holes are called craters. They look like the craters of volcanoes. Rocks from outer space fell on Mercury a long time ago and made the craters. 39초. We are so small. In the daytime, if we look up, we see only the sun, the sky, and the clouds. Look up at the sky at night. What do you see? You see the moon and hundreds of little lights. You may think all the lights are stars, but some of them are not stars. They are planets. They move around the sun in circles. We call the sun and its planets the solar system. Planets make no light by themselves. We can see them because they reflect the sun's bright light. We can see them only at night. A planet is like a huge bowl. Some of these are bowls of rock and some are bowls of gas. Do you want to see a planet more closely? Look down at the ground. You are standing on a planet. That's right, Earth is a planet. It is the third planet in our solar system. There are 8 planets in our solar system. Mercury is the first planet. It is the closest to the sun, and it is one of the smallest planets. There are many holes on Mercury. These holes are called craters. They look like the craters of volcanoes. Rocks from outer space fell on Mercury a long time ago and made the craters. Venus is the second planet. It is terribly hot there. In fact, the temperature on Venus is around 417 degrees centigrade. We cannot really see Venus. It is covered with clouds, so we see only its clouds. They cover the planet like a thick blanket. Venus is not a star, but perhaps you have called it a star. Perhaps in late evening you have looked up at the sky and said, "Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I may. Have the wish I wish tonight." Do you ever wish on a star? Venus is probably the first star you see at night, so perhaps you really wish on the planet Venus. Earth is the third planet. It is farther from the sun than Mercury and Venus. Earth is larger than Venus and larger than Mercury. It is the only planet that has oceans. Perhaps it is the only planet with living things on it. Mars is the fourth planet. It is smaller than Earth. People thought there was life on Mars. One day, Roberta Score, an Antarctic explorer, picked up a stone in Antarctica. She sent it to NASA. NASA said it was a rock from Mars. They found air bubbles in the rock. The bubbles contained Martian air. There were little tunnels in the rock too. These were little tubes as thin as a human hair. Perhaps they were the fossils of ancient animals. Perhaps there was life on Mars a very long time ago. Even more amazingly, in 1997, the Pathfinder spacecraft landed on Mars. It carried a high-tech camera. For the first time, the world had clear photos of the landscape on Mars. We could see Martian plains and Martian prairies in color. Jupiter is the fifth planet. It is huge. It is called Jupiter because Jupiter was the greatest Roman god. If we cut Jupiter into pieces, we could make 1,000 Earths. Be careful. Don't step on Jupiter. It is made completely of gas. There is no land to step on. Saturn is the sixth planet. It is the second largest planet in the solar system. Saturn is famous for its rings and its moons. The rings are made of beads of rocks and beads of ice. Most of Saturn is ice and gas. The center of the planet is iron. And inside the iron center there is ice and more gas. Saturn has more than 50 moons which have names. It also has a few very small ones with no names. Titan is Saturn's largest moon. In fact, it is larger than the planet Mercury. The moon Enceladus is completely covered with smooth ice, so it is the shiniest body in the solar system. The moon Iapetus is black on one side and white on the other. Uranus, the seventh planet, it is bigger than Earth. It is really cold, and the wind blows around it at 900 kilometers per hour. It is surrounded by a thick fog of hydrogen and helium. Uranus has rings too, but they are made up of chunks of black ice, so the rings of Uranus are black. Neptune is the eighth planet. It is a big ball of gas, and it is 30 times farther from the sun than Earth. It is very cold on Neptune. The temperature there is minus 220 degrees centigrade, and like Uranus, it is very windy. Sometimes we think 1 year is dreadfully long, but just imagine a year on Neptune. A year on Neptune is 164.8 times longer than a year on Earth. It takes 164.8 years for Neptune to go around the sun. Scientists found Pluto in 1930. It was considered a planet until 2006. In fact, in 2006, however, scientists decided it was just a massive lump of ice and rock. They put Pluto and similar objects in a new category known as dwarf planets. Pluto's new name is 134340 Pluto. No space probe has ever visited it because it is too far away. The Hubble Space Telescope took a picture of it with a special camera, so now we know what it looks like. Our solar system is tremendous. The sun is 1.4 million kilometers across. The Earth is 149 million kilometers from the sun. The solar system is only one tiny part of the universe. The universe is so big we cannot imagine. We are so small.